Hi everyone, my name is Patty and I'd like to welcome you to our next virtual yoga session. Today I'd like to take you through a sequence that I prepared for hip opening, heart opening, and a few back bends. Don't be intimidated by the word back bend, we're not going to do anything too ambitious. But the reason why I chose hip openers and heart openers is because we tend to store a lot of our emotions and our relationships in our hips. And so if you notice when you feel tense when you're sitting for long periods of time, or you just feel that tension, scientifically speaking, it's been proven that we do hold that tension in our hips, in our hip flexors. So we're going to do some work today to try and open those up and release some of that tension, see if we can work through some of it today. And I'd like to start off by continuing our meditation. Today we'll go for 2 minutes. Again, not too long, just to kind of introduce you to the practice of meditation. And again, it's a practice, it's not perfect, so just do what you can and be compassionate with yourself. Don't worry if your mind starts to wander and think about all the things that you need to do today or all the things that went wrong. We just gently notice the thoughts and then bring it back to our breath. So again, I'd like to start with the bowl, and we'll start and end with the sound. Find a comfortable position. I like to sit up nice and straight. I like to put my hands on my knees, just face down. Open up through my collarbones. Bring my chin level with the ground. I even bring my tongue to the the roof of my mouth. Make sure that I'm not holding any tension in my face. My jaw is slightly open, but my lips are closed. And I start to breathe through my nose. And again, we'll do the mindful meditation where we focus on our breath. Just notice our breath. And as we go through, again, if your mind starts to wander, just label the thought. There's a thought. And then bring it back to your breath. No judgment. Don't make this harder by judging yourself or being so harsh. Just notice. So we'll start our 2 minutes. You're welcome to close your eyes if you're comfortable. You can have a soft gaze in front of you. And that's about 2 minutes. Go ahead and soften your gaze, open your eyes if they were closed. Come back into your bodies. So, excuse me. So what we'll do now is we'll start with our yoga sequence. And I'm going to come back onto my yoga mat. And we'll start in Virasana, which is a hero's pose. But I'm going to do a modified hero's pose. If you'd like to come up onto your knees, just come up on your knees, bring your feet together, flatten the tops of your feet onto your mat, and then you can come up and sit on your heels if that's comfortable. If that's too hard on your knees, you're welcome to use your blanket and bring it behind your knees. Or you're also welcome to bring your feet out a little bit and bring a block under your sit bones. Okay, so whatever's comfortable, just find a comfortable position. If that's not comfortable at all, then go ahead and find Sukhasana, easy pose, just crisscross applesauce. So let's settle into our practice today. Feel what touches. Just notice what you're feeling in your body. On an inhale, let's reach our arms up, overhead. And on an exhale, press away, reach down behind your back. Interlacing your fingers, either pressing your palms together or squaring your wrists behind your back. Rolling your shoulders back, opening up through your heart space. And breathing here. On your next inhale, release your arms, reach up towards the sky. And on an exhale, we'll reach off to the left, bringing our left hand behind our left hip and our right hand on the outside of our left thigh. Finding length through our spine and finding a nice, easy twist. On an inhale, reach back up. Exhale, twist off to the right, bringing your right hand behind your right hip, left hand on the outside of the right thigh, and open up. Just a nice, easy twist. We're just starting out. Inhale, reach back up. And exhale, bring your hands in front of you and we'll come into tabletop. Bringing your hips over your knees, stacking your shoulders over your hands. You can bring your hands up a little bit wider if that's more comfortable for you. And drawing our navel in to find a neutral tabletop. And releasing our belly down, looking forward, not up, just forward. Pressing away from the mat into Cow Uttanasana. Exhale, tuck your tailbone in, round your back, and come into cat. This is like an angry cat. When you think of a Halloween cat. Inhale, back into cow. The whole time pressing away through all 5 fingers. Exhale, cat. Nice spinal warm up. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Rounding your back, pressing up, bringing the space between your shoulder blades towards the sky, and then coming back into neutral. Curl your toes under. Externally rotate at the shoulders so that the eye of your elbow, this part right here, is facing forward. And we're going to send our hips up into downward dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. I know it's a mouthful. Just go ahead and lift your sit bones up high. Press your chest towards your thighs. Beautiful. You can walk your dog. Bend one knee, press the opposite heel towards the mat, and then switch. Just breathe here. Sync up with your breath. If your hamstrings are tight like mine, you might not be able to straighten your knees all the way, and that's okay. We're looking for length through the spine, bringing our biceps next to our ears, rising those sit bones up nice and high. And now we're going to take baby steps up to the front of our mat to bring our feet between our hands while we stretch our Achilles and our calf. And release the crown of our head down. We can bend our knees generously, compassionately with ourselves. Reach for your opposite elbow and just find some movement here. See if you can feel like a magnet on the crown of your head pulling you down towards the ground. And breathe. Release your hands to the tops of your feet. On an inhale, slide them up your shins or to your thighs, flatten your back, and open your chest. Exhale, release back down. We're going to plant our palms and we're going to step back into plank. Drawing your navel in towards your spine, drawing your tailbone towards your heels, and bringing your hips to about the same level as your shoulders, so we don't want to hyperextend here. I'm going to come back up here nice and strong, stacking our shoulders over our hands. And now we're going to bring our knees down to the mat. We're going to come into knees, chest, chin. So go ahead and keep your elbows close to your side body. We're just going to bring our chest and our chin down to the mat. On an inhale, release the tops of your feet and press away from the mat, coming up into cobra, just as high as a cobra, as is comfortable. Exhale back down. And we're going to come into downward dog. You can make a pit stop in tabletop if you like, or you can come straight into downward dog. Breathe here. If this isn't comfortable, you're always welcome to use your blocks if you like and come up onto your blocks. Just find what feels comfortable. Find the support that you like. If you have blocks, go ahead and use them. If you have, like I said before, coffee cans or any type of cans, that'll work too. Find something, or maybe some books that might support you. On an inhale, we're going to bring our left leg back, three-legged dog. On an exhale, we're going to come up onto our right tippy toes, hollow out our belly, and step our left foot through. We're going to bring our right knee down to the mat, and inhale, rise up into low lunge. Draw your navel in. That means press this in, ground your tailbone down. Not to have a flat back necessarily, but just to bring it into a neutral curve. Beautiful. Notice where you feel that. Exhale, bring your hands to your front thigh. We're going to come up into high lunge, reaching our arms up, maintaining that neutral curve in our back by pressing our navel in, grounding our tailbone down. Now we're going to release the back foot to the mat. So the right toes are facing the front right corner of our mat, making sure that this front knee is still stacked over our front ankle. And now straighten it out. And reach your right hand to your right hip. Revolve your chest and reach forward, forward, forward with this left hand. Good. Now bring the left fingertips down to the inside of your left calf. And you can place your right hand on your sacrum, which is right below your spine. and revolve open, or you could reach your right hand up towards the sky, reaching your right fingertips up, maybe gazing past your right fingertips. And on an exhale, windmill your arm back down, frame the front foot, release that back heel, and step back into downward facing dog. Pressing your chest towards your thighs. On an inhale, bring your right leg back. Exhale, step it through. And on the other side, bring your left knee down to the mat. Inhale, rise up into the lunge. Drawing your navel in, grounding your tailbone down. Exhale, bring your hands to your right thigh and come up into high lunge. And release that back foot to the mat. Straighten through that front knee. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Bump the left hip back and reach forward with this right arm as far as you can go. And now bring the back of the right hand to the inside of the right calf. And now you can place your left hand on your sacrum and revolve your chest open, or reach your left arm up towards the sky. Straightening through both legs, revolving your chest open. Windmill this top arm back down, bend through the front knee, release the back heel from the mat, and frame your foot with your hand, stepping your right foot back into downward facing dog. Breathe here. On an inhale, look through your hands. On an exhale, step it through. Forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way back up into mountain pose. So here in mountain pose, I'm going to ask you to put your right hand over your navel and your left hand on your sacrum. And when I say draw your navel in, this is more of a visual representation where you're drawing your right hand up and in and your left hand kind of slides down. This is the action of like a posterior tilt of the pelvis. We're actually coming into neutral. Okay, so we're not flattening our back completely, but we're just coming into a neutral spine with a light curve in the back right here around your left hand. Good. Now release your arms back down, spiraling your palms open. And on an inhale, we're going to reach up towards the sky. Exhale, press away and release back down into forward fold. Releasing the crown of your head. Inhale, half lift, flat back. And exhale, plant your palms this time and let's step back into plank. Find that length through your spine, and that includes your neck. So you might want to have a soft gaze towards the front edge of your mat. So you don't come in here, just coming in a neutral spine. And now you can either knees, chest, chin down, or you can chaturanga, keeping your elbows close to your side body. All the way down, release the tops of your feet. Inhale into cobra, pressing away from the mat. Equally using your back muscles to bring yourself up, and exhale into either tabletop and downward dog or straight into downward dog. Breathe. On an inhale, bring your left leg back. On an exhale, come up onto your right tippy toes, hollow out your belly, and step your left foot through your hands. Windmill your arms up as you release this back foot to the mat to come into warrior two. Let's see if we can bring our head over heart over our pelvis, and reach like our fingertips are being pulled in opposite directions. Our upper body is doing our Tadasana work. Our fingertips are reaching out to either side. Beautiful. On an inhale, we're going to straighten through this front knee, reach up and across for our opposite elbows. And exhale, press back into Warrior Two. Inhale, reach up, opening up through the chest. Good, and exhale, Warrior Two. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale, reach up, opposite elbows, and exhale. Press down into Warrior Two. Beautiful. So here, we're going to release the back foot, cartwheel our arms forward, frame this front foot, and then step back into downward dog. Rise those sit bones up nice and high. And on the inhale, we'll bring our right foot back. Exhale, step it through our hands. Release the back foot and come up into Warrior Two. Take a look at this front knee and check to make sure that it's stacked over the front ankle and tracking over the second toe. I'm wonky here. I want to just some neutral alignment. On an inhale, we're going to straighten through the front knee, reach up, bend both elbows, and reach for the opposite elbow. Exhale, press back down, Warrior Two. Feel in Warrior Two this nice energy from this back arch up to the front hip crease. Notice if you're feeling that. Inhale, reach up, opposite elbows. Exhale, press back down. Last time, inhale, come up, reach for those opposite elbows, and exhale, Warrior Two. Now we're going to release that back foot, cartwheel arms forward, frame the front foot, and step back into our downward dog. Breathe. Don't forget to breathe. On an inhale, we're going to reach our right foot back and step our right foot through. On an inhale, look through your hands. On an exhale, step it through. Forward fold. On an inhale, rise all the way up into Tadasana. Stay right here for Tadasana because we're going to come into fierce pose, chair pose. So let's bend our hips, bend our knees and our ankles. See if we can touch our fingertips on the ground and then sweep our arms up. Beautiful. This is fierce pose or chair pose. I'm not going to stay here too long. Exhale. Forward fold. Breathe. Inhale, half lift. We're doing okay here. Exhale. Forward fold. Now plant your palms and step back into plank. And now if you want to do chaturanga, you're welcome to. If you want to go through a regular vinyasa, whatever you choose is fine. If you want to try something different, let's rock forward onto our tippy toes, keeping your elbows in close. And we'll chaturanga down. Flip your feet and press away from the mat into upward dog, sliding your hips forward between your hands as much as is comfortable. Beautiful. And now on an exhale, we'll come into downward dog on the tops of our feet and then flipping our feet to come into downward facing dog. Breathe. Just lots of options, trying something different. On an inhale, we'll bring our left leg back Exhale, step it through. Breathe here. On an inhale, we're going to rise our arms up and come into high lunge. Remember, let's not pinch anything close to our ears, so release your shoulder blades down your back. Now we're going to come into crescent lunge. So see if we can remember to draw our navel in, ground our tailbone down, and now maybe we look back, bring this right knee down a little bit lower. Maybe when we bring our arms back, we also look up between our hands, maybe not. And then we come back up. Release this back foot, so now we're in warrior one. And bend the right elbow, reaching the right fingertips between the shoulder blades, using your left hand to support it. This is half Gomukhasana arms. You're welcome to do the full expression of the pose by bringing your other hand and go for the reach if that's available to you. But let's make sure that we're not pushing our head back here. Beautiful. And inhale, release back up. Exhale, press your palms together. Release the heel from the mat. And bring your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Maybe you also make your left hand into a fist here. Spiral your inner right thigh up towards the sky and press your right heel towards the mat. We open up in a twisted lunge. Exhale, frame the front foot, and now step back into downward dog. Breathe here. On an inhale, we're going to do the other side. Reach your right leg back and bring it forward. Breathe here. See if you can maybe drop your hips down a little bit lower. Good. Now we're going to rise up towards the sky. Reach up, up, up. Draw your navel in, ground your tailbone down. And now maybe you reach your arms back a little bit more. Bend that bottom, that back knee to sink your hips a little bit further down in crescent lunge. Maybe you look through your fingertips, or maybe not. On an exhale, press your palms together and bring your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Make a fist with your right hand now, and use that to help you revolve your chest open, spiraling your inner left thigh up towards the sky, pressing your left heel towards the mat. Oh. Beautiful. And breathe. Exhale. Bring your hands to frame the front foot and step it back into downward dog. On an inhale, bring your left leg back. Exhale, step it through. Release the back foot to the mat so that now your right toes are facing the top right corner of the mat. On an inhale, come up into warrior one. Exhale, bring your hands to your hips and straighten through this front knee. You come into pyramid pose. Revolve your chest to face the front. It's not already there. Inhale, bring your sternum up, and on an exhale, reach your sternum towards your toes. And you're welcome to place your hands, keep them on your hips, or place them on your thigh. You can also bring them to the blocks right here if that's comfortable. We want to try to keep our back straight, our sternum reaching towards our toes. Try and keep both knees straight with a micro bend in your knees is fine. You can keep your hands on your thighs, around your shin. Stay away from your knee. You don't press your knee back. And now we're going to bring your right hand to the right block. And you can bring your left hand to your sacrum and open up for a twist, for twisted triangle, or reach your left arm up towards the sky and windmill the arm back down. Bring your hands back down to the mat and step back into downward dog. On an inhale, other side, reach your right leg back. Exhale, step your right foot through. Release the back foot to the mat. So now your toes are facing the top left corner. And inhale, rise up into warrior one. Draw your navel in, ground your tailbone down. Release your hands to your hips. Straighten through that front knee. On an inhale, reach your sternum up towards the sky. Lengthen your spine, and on an exhale, reach your sternum forward to face your toes. Again, you can bring your hands to your thighs. You can bring them to rest on the blocks, or you can keep them at your hips, whatever's comfortable for you. Breathe here. Notice where you feel this side. Release your hands back down. You can place your left hand on one of the blocks. Put your right hand on your sacrum for a twist, or reach your right arm up towards the sky. Windmill your arms back down. Lift my back foot. And release your back foot. And step your right foot back to meet the left. And downward facing dog. Just breathe here. On an inhale, bring your right leg back. Exhale, step it through. Bring your left knee down to the mat. I'm walking my left knee back a little bit. Plant your left hand either on the mat or on a block at any level you wish. And on an inhale, we're going to reach our right arm up towards the sky. Trying to keep our hips down, below our shoulders. Exhale, bring it back down. This time we're going to bring our hand to the inside of our right foot. Pivot our heel, pivot on our heel, and bring your toes facing up. Let me show you. And now you can rest here in lizard, or if you'd like to use your blocks, come down onto your forearms. See if you can press your knee in towards your right knee towards your right shoulder. Release the crown of your head here. Breathe. It's more comfortable for you to stay up here or on a different level of your blocks. Just play around, feel what feels comfortable. Notice what feels good in your body. And go ahead and walk your hands back up if they were down. Lift that back knee up off the mat and step back into downward dog. Shake it out a little. On an inhale, reach the left leg back. And now we're going to step the left leg through. Bring your right knee down to the mat. I'm going to walk my right leg back a little bit. And I can either use the block here if I like to put under my right hand and reach my left arm up. Actually, I'd like to bring it down to the mat and reach up towards the sky in a nice gentle twist. And exhale back down. This time I'm going to place my hand on the inside of my left foot. I'm going to pivot on my left heel to point my left toes towards the top left corner of my mat. And from here, I can walk my hands onto my forearms or use a block or two. interlace my fingers. Allow the crown of my head to come down and rest. Just allow my hips to melt down towards the earth. Again, you can come up to any level of the blocks, whatever's comfortable. Or you can even stay here, right? Whatever's comfortable for you. If you're using the blocks, go ahead and place them off to the side. Plant your palms on the mat. Bring your right knee off the mat and step your left foot back into downward facing dog. Just breathe. From here, we're going to shift into plank. So feel like a wave is starting at your heels and shifting you forward to come into plank pose. From here, you can knees, chest, chin down, or you can rock forward onto your toes, keeping your elbows in either way, close to your side body. And we're going to come all the way down. Stop here for a moment. And we're going to reach our hands back down our side, bring the forehead to the mat. And on an inhale, we're going to press the tops of our feet, press our hips, ground them into the earth as we inhale and reach our fingertips back towards our heels into locust pose or shalabhasana. And exhale back down. We're going to come up into Sphinx pose. So bring your left elbow underneath your left shoulder. Bring your left forearm diagonal across your mat. Bend your right knee and reach back for your right foot. Press away from the mat to open up through the shoulders. So I'm opening with my shoulders. As I'm opening, I'm getting a nice stretch in my quad right here. Kick into the right palm with the top of the right foot. Nice stretch in your quad. Beautiful. Don't collapse here. I'm going to keep this nice and open. And release. Switch sides. So now your right elbow is underneath your right shoulder and your right forearm is diagonal. You bend your left knee, reach for your left foot, and kick into your left palm with the top of your left foot. Press away from the mat with your forearm. Breathe here. And gently relax. Now we're going to come back down onto the mat, bringing our forehead down to the mat. We're going to bend both knees and reach for the top of both feet. Now, if this is not going to happen for you, that's okay. Go ahead and use your strap and just strap your feet with your strap. Loop it around. And either way, on an inhale, we're going to do this 3 times. This is bow pose. So we're going to inhale, reach our shoulders back. Bring our knees up off the mat. We want to keep our knees together and come up into bow pose, pressing our hips down. And exhale, come back down. Take a nice deep breath here. And on an inhale, we're going to come back into it. Inhale, come up, press your hips down, your pelvis down, roll your shoulders back. And exhale, come back down. Nice deep breath here. And on an inhale, we're going to reach back. We're going to press our hips down, knees up, shoulders back. And come back down. Beautiful. That was bow pose or dhanurasana. Let's try to press away from the mat. Coming into child's pose. This time we're going to bring our knees together, our feet together. Release our hips towards our heels. Bring our forehead to the mat. If our forehead does not make it, we don't want to have our bottom up in the air. We can just release by finding a block and releasing our hands to our side. Again, if this is hard on your knees, just get the blanket and nestle it here. And that'll help release your knees from any tension. This time we're going to have our shoulders, we're going to round our shoulders forward. Release our hands next to our feet. And just rest here in child's pose. And now gently bring your hands back up. You come up into tabletop. Bring your knees back under your hips, curling your toes under. And coming up into downward facing dog. Let's bring our knees down to the mat. Cross your legs behind you and walk your hands back to come into a seated position. I'm going to face you. And we're going to come into Dandasana. Dandasana is seated staff pose. So you can bring your feet together, toes to touch, slight space between your heels. Press your palms down into the earth, or you can bring them out to the side. Roll your shoulders back. Beautiful. Press the back of your thighs into the mat. Find that length through your spine. And now we're going to bend both our knees and come into Baddha Konasana, seated bound angle pose. So bringing the bottoms of our feet to touch, and if you feel like your legs don't come down and you're kind of hovering, you can support them by using blocks. You can hold on to your feet here with your hands, or you can tuck your hands, kind of cup them under your shins right above your ankle. Open up through your heart space and release your legs down. Just don't hold on to any tension. You have to press them down, just let them do their thing. Breathe here. And if you'd like more, you can open up the bottoms of your feet, kind of like you're reading a book. Okay. Otherwise, we're going to bring our knees back together. Move the blocks if you are using any, or pillows or blankets. And remove the blanket from under us if you were using it for Dandasana. And now let's release both feet as we come down onto our backs. Actually, we're going to bend both knees. And let's bring our knees up to our chest. Give them a good squeeze in gratitude. Release both arms. Blocks. Release both arms out to the side. And bring both knees off to the left, keeping your right shoulder blade ground into the mat. Breathe here. Maybe you turn your head to gaze past your right fingertips. Inhale, bring it all back to center. And exhale, bring both knees off to the left. Turning your head, maybe gazing past your left fingertips here. Inhale, reach back up. And exhale, bring both feet flat on the mat. Bring your arms back to the side. Flatten your back by drawing your navel in, flattening your back against the mat. So a little bit of a pelvic tilt here. Straighten through this left knee and slowly, slowly, slowly bring it down. Now straighten through this right knee and slowly, slowly bring it down as well. Making sure your back is flat. I want to support your back here. Beautiful. Now gently bring both legs out, equally distant away from midline. Taking corpse pose or shavasana, bringing your arms out, spiraling your palms to face up, tucking your shoulder blades under your heart space, bringing your chin level, and enjoying the rewards of your practice. Just let it soak in. Turn to a normal breath. You're welcome to stay here in Shavasana for 5 to 10 minutes or longer if you have time. Now start to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. If you'd like to stay longer, just press pause. Bend both knees. Bring one arm up over your head. And roll over onto that side. In fetal position. Take another breath here. And then slowly using both hands to press away from the earth, come up into a seated position. I'd like to share a passage from the book, Meditations on a Dewdrop by T.S. Little. I found something that was relevant for our time right now. It's called At Peace and in Place in the World. By practicing meditation and by observing the play of the ephemeral, we come to acknowledge and accept the passing moments that make up our days. It is often the case, however, that we reject the moment that we are in. We resist the experience at hand, under the assumption that the next moment or next experience will be better. Then we arrive at the next moment. We balk once again at being present and desire the next moment. This yearning, this thirst for something better goes on and on. We want something more, something richer or sweeter, something else. We repeatedly resist each passing circumstance with the false hope that there is a more desirable state and a more permanent state just around the corner. We cling to the false notion that we will someday enter a state free from the transitory. Due to this yearning for permanence, our experience of passing phenomena is all too often tinged with the feeling of disappointment. But to acknowledge and embrace the transitory and to be at ease with the lightning-like passage of time is to be, in the words of the poet Wendell Berry, at peace and in place in the world. On an inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, press your palms together and down through heart center. Thank you for taking time and sharing your practice today. Namaste.